we saw demonstrators who came out in their large numbers to protest and in the anniversary of the June 25th protest that we witnessed last year. What we've seen is, demonstrators burning tires to protest here at the CBD. We have seen protesters run as police use water cannons during the demonstrations, and even police officers, some of them wounded in the chaos that were happening here at the CBD. Victor, at this moment, we have seen police try to vacate the CBD. And so the situation is relatively calm. However, during the day, we had seen a running battles in different parts of the street. I was at the GPO earlier on during the day, and it was chaotic. Also, we had also our reporter, Samira, who was also at Kimathi Street, who reported that it was actually chaotic. We do not know the exact numbers of people who have been wounded, but I witnessed about 2 who were injured in the process, and some of the human rights groups are reporting that about 10 or so are in hospital getting treated for different injuries that they did get. Right about now, we had stories, or let's say reports, that there were protesters that were headed for State House. We do not know how true that is. We are yet to confirm that, but I could say that police have been able to contain most of these demonstrations. It started out as protesters saying that they are peaceful, and they came out in their numbers carrying flags and having, white T-shirts on, just demanding that there is accountability for the June 25th deaths that were witnessed last year. But then it just turned into, chaotic scenes thereafter. We will still be here at CBD to just see what the situation will be. Back to you in studio, Victor, unless you have any questions for me.
Yes, Sheila, from when you interacted with the protesters, what is the mood like right now? It's now about 7 minutes to 5. These guys were there as early as 7 or 8 o'clock. What's the mood like? What's been the arc of the mood in the course of the day from morning up to now?
Victor, you remember that for most of these protesters, their aim was to get to State House. At least for some, they wanted to get there and get, the audience of the president. However, that has not been possible. We also saw some headed for Central Police Station earlier on in the day. They were headed there because you remember just a few weeks ago, Albert Ojwang died in custody there. Also, we had seen the families of victims from the 25th protest last year headed to Central Police Station as well. And you could tell from speaking with them that there's so much anger within them. Some of them say that everything is not working in this particular nation. However, we cannot confirm that, but most are angry at the government for the response. Even we were speaking to some just after the CAK released the statement that, we should stop the live coverage. And most of them were asked that, government sort of ordered for the discontinuation of the coverage, and most of them just say that they would continue fighting on, that the fight still lives on even from this day forth.
Right, Sheila, what would you say is the situation right now in as far as tempo? Are things picking up or are things slowing down?
Oh, right, Victor. At this particular moment, from where I stand here at the CBD, the tempo definitely has slowed down. Police were able to have been trying really to vacate the people who are at the CBD. The CBD looks like a ruin. It is, has been left in ruins with some of the roads still barricaded with stones, and so we will get to see, what might happen as from now towards the night.
All right, Sheila, before I let you go, can you please tell us, how are you doing? How are the crew members who are with you doing? How are our colleagues in the media industry? How are we doing out there?
I thank the Lord for the team that was with us, this TV47 team. Most of us are safe. We are safe. Only earlier on that I was hit by a tear gas canister on my face, but just came out of it with a small scratch. So I thank the Lord that all of us are safe and that we were able to cover this, maandamano, peacefully.
All right, Sheila, thank you so much, and thank you for your sacrifice. Here you sustained some injuries in line of duty. Thank you so much for that coverage, and we certainly hope that at the end of this day, you, alongside all the other protesters, will be able to go back home safe and sound. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Victor.
All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Sheila Chelagat giving us her view of what happened earlier on in the Central Business District. Sheila is one of our reporters and anchors, and she was a part of the team that we sent, huge team we sent out to be able to gather the information out there. Thank you, Sheila, for that. Ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are across the country, why don't you tell us what's happening from where you are? Send us your messages, send us the feedback. I can see a number of you on the live chat on YouTube. You can send it to us right now. I can